Instructions for your informative speech. What you see before you is the rubric that I will use to assess your informative speech. Your informative speech is worth 30 total points. Now I'll give you the breakdown of how those points are earned. 5 points is earned in the introduction. First, capturing the audience's attention, engaging the listener. Give them a statistic, a quote, a short story, something as simple as raise your hand if you've experienced this before. That is allowing the audience to know that you're speaking to them and that the message is catered for them. Okay, so capture the audience's attention, establish relationship with audience. Those two things are buddies, they work in tandem. Speak to the audience. Use inclusive language, we, us, our. Try to create a sense of community as much as possible in your word choice and also how you present the content. Thirdly, then, preview main points. This is worth 2 points simply by stating, today I'm going to discuss 3 things. 1, 2, 3, and state those to the audience. And then lastly, clearly define your purpose. Tell your audience your purpose statement, your thesis statement, that declarative statement we worked on last week. So the introduction is worth 5 points. Very important because it really sets the tone for the remainder of the speech. Then we move into the body of the speech. That is worth 10 points. This is how those 10 points are earned or lost. Okay, clearly defined main points. Make sure you have main point 1, 2, and 3. Make sure that they stand out, that you are speaking to the audience in an organized fashion. Reference sources, give credit as necessary. If you are going to use someone else's ideas, a quote, a testimonial, we just need to give them credit for it. Just as you would writing a research paper, we need to do that same thing verbally. Info strongly supported overall purpose of speech. Okay, as we worked on last week, we want to stay in scope. Make sure everything we share is in direct support of that thesis statement. Effectively use transitions. This is worth 3 points. This is simple, but very important. Just verbally letting the audience know, okay, I'm wrapping up my first point, now moving to my second point. Okay, now let's discuss my third and final point. Overt and simple are best when using transitions. We don't need to make fancy segues. We want to be as obvious as possible so the listener knows where we are at and where we're tracking. Use of visual aid. Please incorporate one additional thing. Now, I will say in this first speech, no PowerPoint, okay? I want to see you. So when you're speaking to the audience, I want to see you on the webcam in full screen mode. Unlike this presentation I'm giving you right now, I'm tucked away in the corner. I want all of you so I can capture all the great energy and nonverbals you're delivering. But add one additional element. So for example, if you are giving a speech on organizing your life, maybe you show, this here is my best friend and my lifeline, my trusty planner, right? Something to enhance your message. Maybe it's a graph, maybe it's a chart, maybe it's simply an object. One visual aid, clean and simple. And then lastly, under body, organized. Make sure you're presenting according to your outline in that organized, orderly fashion. Next, we have the conclusion. The conclusion typically can simply mirror the introduction. Restate your purpose. Tell the audience that thesis statement one more time. Repeat your main points. I just taught you 1, 2, and 3. Restate those main points simply and cleanly. And then lastly, give the listener something to remember. Give them a quote, give them a parting thought, challenge them to take a course of action. One final thought beyond what you've shared. Now moving down the rubric, we see delivery. This is worth 8 points. Again, this is important, but that the webcam is on you. Gestures used to enhance speech. Just as I'm talking to you now, when you can see my hands moving and my body movement, make sure to incorporate gestures. They add enhancement, they clarify, and they create energy. Strong use of eye contact. Okay, this is a biggie, especially when delivering a speech on video. Make sure that you are talking to the audience. If you are reading something, we will all know it, okay? This is conversational. This is is prepared, but it's candid. You are speaking to the audience. So make sure you're looking that camera in the eye. Use vocal variety, rate, volume, articulation. Those nonverbals within the verbals create that energy and that excitement and passion, and frankly, make it a lot more interesting. Poise, posture, use of floor space. If you want, you certainly can stand and make sure that the camera captures you, or maybe it's simply just movement in your chair like you see me doing right now. Followed keyword outline. Make sure you are speaking from an outline. Once again, no reading. And the subsequent item did not read, okay? Professional dress, appearance. Make sure you look the part. So if you are going to teach us how to perfect our golf swing, if you're wearing golf attire, that's perfectly appropriate. But make sure you are clean, professional, and well-groomed. And then lastly, free of distracting word usage, okay? Watch the ums, the ers, and so forth. Sometimes this simple item can be very revealing because we all have those go-to fallback words. And then the last item on the rubric, 4 points for time. 4 points if you hit between 4 minutes and 30 seconds and 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So we're aiming at 5 minutes, but I'm giving you a 30-second window of grace on either side. Anything short or beyond that will be a 1-point deduction for each minute, okay? So if you speak for 6 minutes, you'd be deducted 1 point. If you speak for 7 minutes, you'd be deducted 2 points. And the same would apply on the short side. So 30 total points possible. Once again, this informative speech grading rubric can be found in content. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see grading rubrics and it is loaded in there. Thank you very much. You will all do excellent.